Hi, Aaron. It's so nice to have you on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. Just finished up a little day's worth of work, so work
Mm,
day's done. Now it's time for podcast.
yeah, man. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I am quite excited to have you on the show, Aaron, for hmm, some reasons, all right? Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking, because I believe in order to transition from a chaotic situation to that of a beautiful one, it takes the application of knowledge, quality information. That's the first reason why I'm excited to have you on the show. Now, the second one is for the sake of my listeners now, because I believe there are some things that Aaron knows that some of my listeners, some of my audience now, they need to hear you say these stuffs, directly from your mouth, in order for them to experience transformation. I firmly believe that. And thirdly, that is me. I believe there are some things that I'm definitely going to learn, one or two things from your story, your insights, and your experiences. So, for that reason, Aaron, let us get started with your introduction. You know how the journey has been so far, the challenges that you faced, and how you overcame them. And afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Aaron, over to you.
Yeah, so kind of my background as far as I was probably an average athlete through high school, and then get fortunate enough to make it to the collegiate level, small college for football, and that's kind of where in between the high school and college was where I kind of found my passion for health and fitness for that. So working out, training, and getting involved in just exercising in general to get prepared and ready for the next level as far as sports goes. It's fun at times, and it's also grueling and challenging at others. So sometimes just overcoming some of those obstacles are a little bit more probably mindset than anything else. Overcoming objections and just things in your head that may want to prevent you from being better. So that lasted, I would say college career lasted for small college football about 2 years, and I just kind of lost passion for what I wanted to do, but also didn't want to stay at a college where I didn't want to finish my degree. So I left, got my undergraduate degree, and then decided to um, conquer the world trying to do health and fitness. And it was at a time where the economy was a little uneasy back in, I think, 2009, 2010. And so that found me transitioning to just finding work where I could, working for my father-in-law at the time. And then I just decided that over that course of a year that I was going to go and expand my knowledge base and go get a graduate degree. So I landed at Florida State University, and I got my master's degree in exercise physiology. Um, did it in about 1.5 years just because I didn't want to be there for three. Should have only taken me about two, but I kind of did the expedited version of that. Went, 3 semesters or 4 semesters straight through and just knocked it out for that. So, like most, getting expanding your knowledge base and getting your graduate degree was one of those things that was rewarding, but also you thought you were going to get out and conquer the world again, kind of phase two, and get a really good job in that. And I did, I guess. I was working at the local YMCA and just doing a lot of selling memberships and just doing the grunt work to kind of build your resume per se for that. So I did that for a little while. I was a health coach at a Fortune 500 company, working with their employees, trying to install better healthy patterns, whether it was walking, better nutrition, or just trying to help them overcome any obstacles they had as far as their health and fitness goes. So I did that for about 3 years, and then I landed at an orthopedic clinic doing pre and post op training for basic injuries, people who were injured, athletes who were injured, and just overcoming those injuries to kind of establish a healthy lifestyle once they were out of the physical therapy. And then that was about probably 3 years with it, and then I ended up being let go, and that's kind of where the next phase of transition went. I started my own business with one client, and I've been running it for the last 8.5 years here in just south of Nashville, Tennessee. So a lot of struggle, a lot of perseverance, but here we are 9 years later, and we're still trucking along.
Beautiful. Your journey is a very interesting one. The fact that you mentioned a particular word that is so important. You said you were helping others, get free from whatever obstacles it is they were in. And that's a very good one. I love that. Okay, so shall we get started with the questions?
Let's roll.
Okay, so now you mentioned being in the fitness industry. Okay, I want you to talk to us more. How did you get started with your fitness business?
So it kind of came on a whim. I got let go from the previous orthopedic job after 3 years, and so it was kind of a find out what's next, and if you could go back to working in a corporate setting, or you could go find another job outside of the complete realm of what I was doing. But I had a pretty decent client base where I was, and so I wanted to stay in that kind of area where I live at. 5 mile radius could take you 30 minutes depending on traffic. So you just want to stay in that vicinity where you knew a lot of people, built a lot of relationships, and just trying to be I don't say the center of attention, but just be the guy in that area. So when that happened, it was a little bit of a shock, but it was more or less of like, I'm not going to let that stop me. So therefore, I bounced around a few different places, but I was going to establish my hub back in the same area. So I started with one client training at a apartment complex, and just kind of, other clients weren't happy where I was previously, and they just decided to kind of reach out to me and come on board. So it went from one at the apartment complex to two to three, kind of built from the ground up, and then established a little bit more of a rental space about probably 6 months into that. And just by building relationships with people in the community, finding other like-minded people who could refer other clients, whether it was like physical therapists or chiropractors, massage therapists, whoever it may be that was kind of in that general vicinity that we could help each other. That's kind of who I leaned on for referrals to kind of build my client base for that. So it wasn't a sit back and wait. It was more of take action and try to figure this thing out by myself for the first probably 3 years.
Amazing, I got that. That was a smart move. You weren't just waiting for things to happen, but you had to find your way around it. That's a good one. Okay, so we still have some questions here. All right. What
Sounds good.
what type of clients do you work with and why?
Yes, that's a great question. I'll tell you, when I started, I worked with anybody and everybody, just because I thought I could help everybody who was interested in fitness. Now we're really specialized working with the 45 and older population, helping them to basically move better, feel better, live life pain free, whether that's through weight loss or just getting back into more flexibility, mobility training. But also maybe they're coming off like a nagging injury or something that's been bothering them for years. We're trying to get them back up and moving so that way they can do the things they love and do it, pain free with that. So that's probably 80% of what we do. Primarily women, but we do train men as well. So it's probably like a 70-30, 70% women, 30% men. And on the backside of that, probably about 20% of our business is sports performance. So we work with athletes ranging from third grade, which I think is like 11 or 12, depending on when your birthday hits, all the way up to high school, college, and semi-pro. And occasionally we'll have a pro athlete come through the door, give or take. So it's a wide variety, but we're super, super niche down to the orthopedic pre and post-op, but also injury prevention and trying to help people that have had injuries get back to play for athletes, but also just general population. Helping people who haven't been able to hike or go on trips or even do gardening. We're trying to help those people just feel better so that way they can do those daily living activities.
I got that. That's a smart move again because niching down to that um, particular audience kind now shows that you understand the vision for what you're doing and you know where you're going and you know what is going to benefit the most. And that's a good one. I got that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
So
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
we would, we would like to, we would like to say we're probably by being so specific, we're probably one of the only gyms in town who really work with that
I tell you,
population,
man. I
and
tell you.
that's a good thing.
It's a good one, I tell you. It's a good one. I love that. I love that. Okay. Saying everything you've said now, I have a feeling that you're just so good at what you do. And that's gonna lead me to ask this particular question, okay? Can you
Okay.
share some of your most memorable client success stories and how they achieved their fitness goals through your programs? Long question.
Uh,
You got it?
yeah, yeah. How much time you got? um, so I'll stick with two. I have a probably two long-term clients. One's a former professional running back in the NFL, and he came to me post playing career, had a corporate job, and just kind of fell out of love with health and fitness, and gained about 40 pounds, and had high blood pressure and a lot of other health issues going on. So um, I reached out to him and kind of challenged him in a way of, hey man, I know things have kind of gotten a little tough as far as your health and fitness goes, but I want to challenge you to come back and see me, and hopefully we can get things under wraps. So if you've been a professional athlete, and I have not, so I don't know how he feels, but it's a lot of contact and a lot of aches and pains over the years. So his thing was mainly just being able to lose the weight so he would feel better, his joints would feel better, and that way he could, play basketball with his kids or football, whatever it was that they wanted to play. So in probably about a year and a half time span, he dropped almost probably 35 of those 40 pounds he had gained,
Hmm.
and he got the comment a lot, and he still tells the story to this day that a lot of guys, a lot of his friends, former players, thought he could still play after his transformation. That's how fit he looked for that.
Wow.
So I mean, he's still a client to this day. So um, you know, just an all around thing that you never want to give up on your health and fitness goals, but you can also start and restart and still achieve those
Yeah.
things you probably didn't think were possible as far as that goes. Um, yeah, one of the other ones I like to share is one of my ladies came in severely overweight, and she was traveling for work quite a bit, and she used to use a wheelchair at each terminal. So she'd get off the plane, use a wheelchair to go to each terminal for work. And probably about 6 months into it, she had started feeling better, lost some weight, and was really hesitant of not using the wheelchair. So I just said, hey, let's try it one time. Let's try it this weekend and see if you need it. And she came back the next week and said, hey, I didn't use the wheelchair. I was really
Ooh,
short of breath, but the big win was she didn't use the wheelchair, and so it
amazing.
just kind of built it upon the success of thinking she could do more and she could do more. So she lost over 40, probably 40 to 50 pounds, and is probably one of my spunkiest clients now. She dances and sings and
Amazing.
likes to still work out 2 days a week.
Ooh. Interesting, man. I love that.
Yeah.
Stuffs like this. Whoa. Oh man,
Yeah,
oh
I mean,
man.
it's just I like to say it's the small wins that impact the big wins long term.
Yeah.
So if you can have a small one here and there, and it just kind of
Hmm.
compounds each on top of one another to the long term success of people who didn't think things were possible in the short term.
Hmm. Very true. Very true. So correct. Okay, Aaron. So to bring this to an end, what would you like to leave the audience with, like a final thought? And to those ones who would like to reach out to you, learn more about what you do, maybe you've said some things that resonated well with them and they would like to learn more. How can that be possible?
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway is when you start your fitness or healthy lifestyle journey, there's always going to be some ups and downs, and I like to call it like a roller coaster. But there's going to be a point in time where that roller coaster, starts to kind of go up, up, and up, which means you're going to be feeling better, moving better, lifting more weight, and then it's going to get to where you're feeling much better because life happens, things happen, and so sometimes you jump on that track, you fall off, you get back on, you fall off. So it's not a upward trajectory all the time. So sometimes it's that roller coaster that goes up and down, and sometimes it's hard to realize that. So if you stay the course, things will work out in the long term for that. But you can find us more information about what we do at premierperformancetrainer.com. You can go to our website. All of our social media links are on there. We have a Facebook group you can join. We give out a lot of, I'll say we do a lot of funny videos at the gym, but also we give out a lot of tips and things that people 45 and older can use and implement along their fitness journey. So no matter where you are, you can always learn one thing each and every day.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that. So that's going to be the end of the show, Aaron. Thank you for coming and thank you for, you've shared some powerful and amazing stuff so far. Thank you so very much, man. I love that.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
That